Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a new DX button reacts for the Destiny 2 showcase for 2023, and that's a 10-minute warning before the showcase actually starts. I'm the X button host Alejandro. With me I will be joined by my co-host Paul. At any point right now, he's just finishing some work. I just wanted to start us out just to give a little bit of a preamble. Right now, they've just been showing a bunch of the important cutscenes from Destiny over the past almost 10 years, which is nuts that I've been playing this game for that long and that it has actually lasted for that long, because for everyone that plays Destiny, they know it's been a rocky road of highs and lows. The highs have been incredibly high, the lows have been incredibly low. Just look what's been happening this year with the with Lightfall, and they always manage to do something to always course correct, always without fail, even when it seemed like, how can I say this, that there was no hope because of how bad things would sometimes get. Then eventually they pull it up, and then we go through a long stretch of highs, and that was last year with the Witch Queen. And it's kind of sad that after the Witch Queen, Lightfall was just such a step down, especially at such an important time for the game, like nearing the original plan 10 years of what they've dubbed the Light and Darkness saga. And it's just been clear that this year was never supposed to happen, because if people remember the showcase from back in 2020 when they announced Beyond Light and also Witch Queen and Lightfall, there wasn't a fourth expansion that ended up being the final shape, which they're going to showcase today. If you look at the image of Lightfall, it's like it seemed like what the final shape is supposed to be, but then they said that they needed an extra time to wrap up the saga, so it's clear that whatever that version of Lightfall was became the final shape. They pushed it, but because they had already named something Lightfall, they put something in between, and that's why we got the very disappointing expansion we got this past February, where they had some good stuff, but the story was just awful. The seasons right now have been like in a weird spot where they tell some good story, but like the state of the game and the community sentiment is not the best. So it's like, I always trust in Bungie, because if Destiny was bad, I wouldn't have played this for close to 10 years now, all the way back to the golden days of D1. Even though people forget that year one of D1 was not that great, it took until a Taken came for people to be like, no, actually Destiny's really good, it's without caveats. So but there's just something about Destiny. It's like it's still one of a kind shooter, even if it's not like the big thing anymore. It's still relatively big. Obviously, the community right now went on revolt after the recent state of the game seemed very tone deaf, and them trying to address some of the long-term concerns, like what's been happening with PvP, what's been happening with Gambit, why is armor too skewed towards paid armor instead of like earnable armor and all that. And then some of the excuses they were making were kind of unacceptable in a way. So people revolted. The PvP community actually heartily revolted when they said that resources take too much to be able to do more maps than the one in a Blue Moon that they do, and it's always a bad one. And then director Joe Blackburn came out recently, I think it was last week, to respond to the response to the bad reception to the state of the game, and I made some promises that actually sound really promising now, especially when it comes to PvP, that they're finally going to do like a map pack. How big of a map pack, I don't know, but that's better than just be like, yeah, we just one map that will try to do everything at once and not be good at anything. And even though Gambit has basically been publicly executed at this point, like they basically are removing even the ritual completion towards that activity, like basically you don't even have to play that mode anymore. So it's like, it's clear that what Gambit was, those ideas have been put into Marathon, which is the other Bungie game that got announced at this year's disappointing PlayStation showcase. So we'll see. Like, I'm just hoping that if Lightfall had to, like, at least the version of Lightfall we got had to take a hit, I'm glad that I would be happy if that hit was worth the final shape to be a Witch Queen level expansion, or even close to Forsaken and Taken King, because that's the thing, like, people love saying that Witch Queen was the best time of the game. I agree from a campaign standpoint, but I don't think it was an overall great time, like best time for the game, especially because that's when the light subclasses were just introduced, and everything kind of got off balance. That wasn't the campaign with the legendary difficulty and its raid. Like some of the expansion content was some of the best of the series, but just the overall state of the game was just not what Taken King and Forsaken were. So um, I'm just hoping that at the very least, like that Bungie would know that when it comes to the conclusion to a long-running saga, you actually have to deliver. I mean, let's not forget they gave us Finish the Fight back in Halo 3 in 2007, and I thought they stuck the landing there. This would be great if they were able to do that here, especially after they've been like so committed to this game for so damn long. So I really hope that after today, I'm just feel super excited about at least the next two seasons that are coming. Especially if there's a new season launching today. Like the last season, Season of the Deep, has been one of the times that I played the game the least because I've obviously came out at the worst time possible. Some of the best games of the year launch around that season, so of course I was gonna play that instead of a season that was giving me content that was not that appealing. So, but I'm hoping right now, like at the very least, whatever they show us gets me pumped to go back to my clan and play more on the weekly instead of like just not playing at all, because this was my ritual game. It kind of still is my ritual game. I thought Diablo 4 was gonna be that, and after I was done with the campaign of that and seeing what season 1 of Diablo was gonna do, I didn't feel that. So yeah, like Bungie, please like deliver today. And if there's something that I would love to see, like this is just me being selfish, especially after this is not gonna be in the stream that we're putting up, but I've been like watching like the previous hour of that's been the countdown for the for the showcase. Like they've been showing cutscenes of like the Red War and Forsaken, and it still pains me to my core that that is just content that's not in the game, because that was such great starting points, at least at their campaigns, so I can tell people start here and then eventually like get into where the story currently is. And after I've been playing something like Final Fantasy 14, that from A Realm Reborn onward, like a lot of that content is still in the game, and I can still experience things that years ago started. Even though it's a lot of content, I'm glad that at least it's there. I would hope that, especially when last year they were like, yeah, we figured out a way that we're not going to be removing expansions anymore, that this is the year where they go, yeah, because this is not the end of the saga, we've done something to be able to bring back those campaigns, so that at least as an onboarding process, people can see a lot of the story from beginning to end instead of just a timeline that's there. So, and now my buddy Paul is joining, and there he is, and he's muted like always. Yeah, there
I'm
you are.
here.
Yeah. So you joined right at the nick of time, Paul. So
Yes, I did.
yeah, so I already gave my whole preamble. Right now in the stream, we're seeing a commemoration of Lance Reddick,
I
which
yeah, got it
yeah,
pulled up right here.
yeah, which rest in peace. That's on top of this being a really weak year for the game. Like the fact that his passing happened at the same time just added salt to the wound. So so sad. But Paul, what are you expecting at the very least
I am
from this?
expecting at least some kind of explanation for what we're going for. I think they got the answer to. I'm gonna mute this because it's very distracting.
Uh-huh.
Um, the just a bit of damage control from them, but also like all right, like, we need to put our best foot forward. So I expect they're gonna try to really push themselves
Mm-hmm.
and give us an incentive to immediately buy. If they can get that hype up, they're going to get so much money from this, just the way we
Mm-hmm.
did last time.
Yeah.
Um,
One
immediately
minute
buying
warning.
Lightfall. Yes, absolutely. So that's really what I expect. We're getting another subclass, aren't we? With
Supposedly, yes. It was like
maybe
leaked.
reveal that.
Yeah, it was like a random leak in a GIF that was like red. We don't know what it will be, but that will complete three light
Red would be
subclasses and
a
three
good
dark.
color.
Yeah,
'Cause that's
orange,
the only
red.
one we don't have. Yeah.
Yeah, green,
Uh,
purple,
the only thing we
then
don't is
blue.
yellow.
Yeah, and we don't need yellow because exotics are
Yeah.
yellow.
Right.
So
Exactly. And you have other things that make a yellow color.
yeah,
So yeah. Anyway,
20 seconds. It's the
what
countdown
about you?
begins. Yeah, I'm just hoping that at the very least I walk like kind of like you just said. I walk out of this feeling happy about where the game will be going, especially after a brutal last 4 months with this game, which has just not been
Ready to count it out,
great.
by the way?
5, 4,
We're
3,
3,
2,
2,
1.
1. Also, shout out
Yes.
to the fact that our
Thanks for
audio
tuning
is
in,
actually
y'all.
synced up
Like
here
me,
today.
Yes.
you, I've been
Finally.
playing
Clearly,
games
our
as
video
long
is
as I
on
can
the same
remember.
timing.
Yeah.
They're a core part of what makes me.
Let's hear what Joe
who I
Blackburn
am.
says now.
I believe there's this deeply rooted, often unstated mission of games to keep adventure alive.
Yeah.
In 2014, Bungie set out to start a new adventure.
I can't believe it's
Heroes
almost 10 years
awakened
since this
on a
started.
desolate
That still
planet.
blows my mind.
A silent god set in our sky. And it wouldn't be long before an ancient enemy, shrouded in darkness, showed up at
People don't
humanity's
remember
door
now
to
because
destroy
obviously
us.
Destiny has been
Over the
clowned on with
years,
its highs and lows,
our heroes
but
would
do you
shape a
remember the
story
lead up to the launch of
far
this
greater
thing?
than anything
Oh,
we
so
could have
much.
imagined.
This
We're
was
talking
the
about
big
the
Players
first
would
Destiny,
the
explore
first
right?
one
deep
in 2014,
into
the
depths of
original.
space,
I mean, there's a reason I
hunting a machine
have
god that
that,
controlled
or
time
had that
itself.
poster up on
They'd
my
invent
screen,
ways to
on
combine
my
their
wall,
mythic
because it was
weaponry
just
and
a
their
traveler
causal
over a
abilities
planet.
to
It
stand
was like from
alone
the
against
makers of
monsters
Call
that
of
took
Duty and
others,
Halo. I
an
was like,
entire
are you
elite squad.
freaking kidding me?
They'd race
Yeah.
alongside their
That
friends
just sounded
far into
amazing.
the early morning.
And
in
for
the
a while it
halls
was.
of an ancient city.
Like that's
Oh,
there was
yeah,
a
I
reason
mean,
a lot of
select
people
few
wanted to be
emerged
Destiny for a while.
victorious
Obviously
at
the
dawn,
Still
tides
look back
changed.
clutching
on
the heart
the
of a
beta
dragon.
so fondly, like the dancing,
But most importantly, they
the
bring their
crazy
friends and their family into
outfits.
this world, and together
Still waiting for
meet
that
new faces on this
Titan,
adventure.
the one that's on
who
screen
become
right now, that
lifelong
Titan with the
companions.
furry collar
Now,
outfit, like that
together,
armor apparently never went
we
into the
approach
game.
the final shape.
Yeah.
Wish.
Yeah,
We're
let's
about
see
to
it.
embark.
I finally
last
finished the seasonal
expedition
quest, by the
of
way.
Destiny's
Oh,
first
Yesterday.
right at the nick of
So
time.
I
I
went
finished
through,
it.
they
Stakes.
explained the veil
final
and
shape,
everything. I was like,
You will go inside
this couldn't
the
be in
Traveler.
Lightfall
The
itself.
journey will
Again,
be
that's a
difficult.
big problem of this
And
past
what
awaits
awaits
expansion.
you
So.
on the other side of this trek is nothing less than the deadliest entity we have ever faced. There will be no open betas. There aren't going to be any guides on the internet telling you how to handle what's to come. Whether you've been with us from the beginning, joined us somewhere along the road, or are looking at Destiny for the first time, anybody who shows up on launch day is going to be greeted with this same uncharted world, a vacuum-sealed experience begging for you to be the first person to peel it open. So today is
Getting
your
Wishbone
invitation
vibes.
to go forth and adventure.
Yeah, because they're pushing the mystery with Witch Queen. So-
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Right. Yeah.
That's
Gives
the
vibes
OG.
of old Russia, Cosmodrome.
After all these years, we never talked about it. Why I brought you back.
Ooh.
I like
Why
the
you
armor.
were chosen.
So it's like it's like Earth, but like reformed, like a fifth dimension.
Seems like it. Alright, so let's vault the glass.
The truth is, I didn't know then.
Galahorn.
It was just a feeling.
I need to start using the Galahorn again.
Yeah, I haven't used
Actually,
it
I put
in
it
a
in my
while.
vault, and that used to be my main
But I
power
know
weapon.
now.
It's just they made primary exotic so good back
After
again
all
that
we've seen,
True. Alright,
All
got
we've
cage
lost.
7.
6.
I don't know,
8-6.
I'm just saying.
this
Ah.
night might be our last. So I'm asking you
Ooh, okay.
one last time
The Tormentors look great.
to rise.
I like that helmet.
Ooh, that axe.
Oh. New power weapon?
So February 27, 2024. A day, almost to the day. Lightfall's launch.
This is a momentous time in Destiny history. We've been building to this moment for the last 10 years.
The final shape is the conclusion to that journey. This is a moment in gaming that, as a developer, you just don't get very often.
Guardians and allies are fighting the biggest threat that the universe has
I wonder if
ever
you're gonna
seen
hear Keith
in this big
David's
culmination
rendition of
the Light
Zavala.
Darkness saga.
Because
It would be
supposedly,
a good point to
When we were thinking
show
about what the final
that,
shape
at least,
could
but-
be,
At least just to hear
had to
it
be
now.
a lot of different
Because
things.
Lance
It needs to
Reddick,
pay off this epic
his last lines
confrontation
were
with the
in
witness
Season
that
of the
we've been
Deep.
setting up for years.
Yeah.
It has to bring you closer to your allies in the Vanguard. It has to be this place that like makes you feel nostalgic for the entire journey you've been on. When we
Yeah, so
were resurrected
the Avengers
by
Endgame
ghosts
vibe.
at the very beginning of the story,
That's what made
we
that
didn't
movie,
know
the nostalgia.
why, but it was for this. The Traveler is asking us for help, and it's our responsibility to protect every living thing in the universe from what the Witness intends to do.
When we first start the final shape, we are finally able to go through the portal that the Witness opened in the Traveler at the end of Lightfall.
inside is the Pale Heart.
Basically
of the
spoiling
Traveler.
the next two
That
seasons.
is the stage for a showdown with the Witness.
It's true, because we need to now
Witness
see
has the darkness,
all of the
and
stuff
he's
for
always
this
had a
next
connection
season,
to it.
don't we?
Uh-huh.
The Pale Heart of the Traveler is what it's trying to use to gain.
That's
connection
always
with
the
light.
awkward
So with
spot of
both,
when they do the
it can
showcases
enact
because,
its final shape.
especially starting with Lightfall,
The
that
Witness
the,
looks around
it had
and
2
sees a
seasons
lack of
ahead of it,
purpose, no meaning.
and previously
It wants
we
to
had
fix
a
all
final
that.
season
So
that will
it's
launch there that will
trying
lead to the
put the
expansion,
universe
but because
into
they
this
shifted the
frozen
release dates,
perfection where everything's
Now we
just
have to see 2
exactly how it
seasons.
thinks it's
So-
supposed to be. That is
it's
the
basically
final
a Star
shape.
Wars prequel thing. We know how you get it. We see ahead how we got there, then we have to
The
see
Witness,
backwards
is
how you
going to
get
take
there.
everyone.
So.
You just don't see all of
Failure
the
is not an
details in
option.
between
We're gonna
that.
need the Vanguard,
Like
all
Amanda
of our
Holiday, for
allies,
instance.
and all the Guardians to rally together and be brave in the face of oblivion.
It would be really cool if
In
they
the final
showcase
shape,
like the
we're going
OG
to
outfits
answer questions
for
at
the
the
final shape.
grandest
That would have
scale.
been
Yeah.
awesome.
But what I find really
But I
interesting
kind of dig
is
the
that
like
it's also
crystal
a very
thing they got
personal
going
journey.
on.
Where we deepen our relationships with these characters that we've known for so long. Zavala, Ikora, our ghost, get to reconnect with Cade 6. So, like, while there's this great conflict,
It's gonna be
and
asking a lot of
everything going on
questions,
around us,
Cade
and
6,
stakes
like,
of
where
you
been,
just
huh?
unimaginable heights. It's still at the end a story told around campfires by a bunch of companions who have been fighting together for
Yeah, the Final
hundreds
Fantasy
of
life.
years.
Campfire.
I do like they're showcasing all of the different outfits from the last couple of years. There's one dude with the Titan
In
with
the
the
final
Trials
shape, we're
armor
going
on.
through the portal that the Witness has opened up to confront it and stop the final shape.
Alright, we've kind of established
Inside the
that.
Traveler
Let's
is
go.
this infinite, vast, unknowable.
Like an overgrown tower.
And we're landing on the Pale Heart, which is a fraction of really what is inside the Traveler.
A lot of the color aesthetic is
The
like
Pale
you
Heart
see it, you see
is
what's from the
weird.
Raid, Root of Nightmares.
It's a little strange. It makes you feel
that's
a bit
true.
uncomfortable. And it is also just
Okay,
so
so
cool
this
and
is
artistic in the
gameplay.
best way.
It really has some crazy mind-bending
Witness
stuff
entered
going on.
well ahead of any Guardians, and so it's had time to kind of shape what's there. When our Guardian enters, the rest of the Pale Heart starts getting shaped also around what we've experienced.
This is the Traveler recreating the world in front of
Yeah,
you.
that's snowy.
The journey.
It's going to be a revisit to all of the
One of the
environments that
most
we've gone
memorable
through
voice
already.
from Destiny's past.
It's
I
an
kinda
easy
did-
way for
yeah.
them to
One
reintroduce assets.
Yeah.
Son of
I
a
mean,
gun.
Yeah.
The final shape means
Destiny
so
and
much
reusing
to
stuff is
everyone
like
who's
gotta
building
love
it,
it.
and
But
I think players are
I'll
really
let
going
it
to be
go with
able to
this one
see that.
because it's like because of the
If
theme.
it means we
The
get
Pale
back
Heart
all
is
of the stuff that
Our
was
very first linear
vaulted.
adaptation that we've ever
Ooh,
done.
that weapon,
It's
that,
like-
that pulse
I would
rifle
love
was
win-win.
nice.
I also
felt
do really like
that they began their journey in a place of safety.
Or at least I think it's a pulse rifle.
And feel it
Yeah, it's-
escalate in danger,
I don't even
in
know, but
Yeah, Destiny
surrealness,
skybox as always.
because there
Oh,
is
yeah.
this beautiful
I remember when
evolution
you were
of
showing
the space.
me Vow the Disciples
They see
skybox.
things that are more and more wrong as they begin to go towards the Witness's monolith. It's kind of this omnipresent, foreboding thing off in the distance.
The weirdest
Ooh,
things
yes.
happen as you get closer
I
to
do
the
like the
monolith
ominous
in
tower.
the form of reshaping.
Give me some
Kind of like
Tower of Kafka
deconstructing things and putting them back together.
vibes.
Just wrong.
The sense of scale you get out there, like as you're exploring these spaces and you're jumping on these reshaped cuboids of Earth, you feel tiny as a Guardian. You feel alone. You feel
The freaking
like you are
Kavasta
not the
of,
force to be reckoned with.
starting
that you
auto
have-
rifle.
You're not the God Slayer right now. You're just this little person jumping from these massive pieces to massive pieces.
One of the things that we really tried to also capture is that the witness keeps throwing everything it has at you. And so you're going to fight these new enemies, the subjugators.
Okay.
Oh, so
Subjugators
they're
are the
different.
new unit you're going to be facing in the final shape.
It's basically a new version of the
have an enhanced
Tormentors
power
next
set.
to.
Yeah.
They're performing
They do
stasis
look
powers and strand
kinda
powers
like 'em
to
more
face
than
the
the-
Guardian. Well, in
So it's
support
basically the
of
guard,
all
kind of
other
like the
enemies you're
Lucent
fighting.
Hive, but now them
They
using
something
darkness
entirely
powers.
new to the battlefield, which is kind of this
Which makes
element
sense,
of
and that's
control.
horrifying.
They're back
Yeah,
there.
you can
cleaning
get,
away
like,
the stasis ability,
suspended
you can
or
get
suspended,
crystals
yep.
at you, freezing you in place, tangling you up.
Interesting sidearm.
We're focusing you on
Kind of wish
the
sidearms
campaign
were more
and only the
useful.
campaign.
They're
It's
getting
the most
a buff
important thing
this season.
in the
so-
Empress at
Alongside
that
the
moment.
hand cannons?
You have to stop the final.
But hand
fight.
cannons are the ones that are getting the
And
75%
for
like
that,
Well,
we
orange
need
bar.
the help with
That's
our
what I'm
allies,
freaking
and so
ready
we're going
for.
to make sure that the core
Ooh,
Vanguard team
man.
gets back together. Zavala and Ikora and Cade.
The campaign is just the start of the Pale Heart. After you've reached the monolith and finished the campaign, we open up the entire destination, and so the entire Pale Heart is going to react to you and what you are doing.
That looks like a very varied.
The
Sandbox.
campaign in the
This-
final
this-
shape
this
doesn't
Veil
really
Heart.
Finally
end
made
with
us
the
the
final mission.
Halo
the
ring
raids are
biome.
Yeah.
to defeat like the big bosses. So it's only natural that when you are going to confront the witness, you're going to do that in the raid. But that might not be enough. This is a moment where we need to rally all Guardians to be able to overcome the final shape and the witness.
12-player raid.
12 players eventually glitched into raids. Remember? Do you remember that
really?
happened? Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was
In
like
the
a weird
final shape,
glitch that if you're
we are
joining at a specific
inside
time,
the
you can have
Traveler.
12 people in a raid.
Very close to this energy. This allows
That
us
sounds
to have
amazing in theory
new
and
supers
terrible in
arc-
practice.
Terrible in practice, yeah.
We want to create something that turns you into an offensive powerhouse, but also can benefit your allies in a support capacity. There is this thread of
Okay.
team play and like working with your friends to overcome the odds.
Yeah, is that the new subclass?
The
Yeah.
Warlock Super is its ultimate expression of solar energy coursing through your Guardian. This Solar Warlock Super is a callback to Radiance from D1.
Other than Golden Gun, this is the only other.
Oh, okay, so they're adding like
first-person
extra
super in
extra
Destiny right
new
now.
supers
Their melee's
into like our
Stuff.
Oh, like all these
Okay.
projectiles
Oh,
going
nice.
off, doubling the amount of
That would be a
projectiles.
new way
Your
to
grenade almost being
change
sentient
things up.
as it searches
Yeah.
around, and then it hits a character and bounces off and goes to another one.
Huh.
And
Ooh.
you're so overflowing with this energy that you are also giving it to your allies, allowing them to have their solar weapons supercharged, applying
Okay.
Scorch when they're shooting.
The new Solar Warlock aspect. When I cast my Rift, it is going to create this little solar soul that when it sees an enemy,
Yeah, like the-
it
like the Arc
launches
Soul.
part of itself out and hits the enemy and explodes and scorches them.
And basically
feels
what you
very
do
alive.
with threadlings on whatchamacallit.
Twilight Arsenal. It's a
I love that note.
layered super.
This is the only ranged one-off offensive super for Titans in the game. The Titan jumps
Yeah,
up into
the
the air, summons this giant void axe, throws it, summons another one, throws it, summons another one, looks at a different group of
It's
enemies,
a
throws it.
one-shot.
And when these axes fly through the air, they stick
It's the
into
frickin'
ground
javelin
or an
from the
enemy,
hunter.
do their void gravity thing where they suck a bunch of
Oh
energy
my
and enemies in and
gosh.
they explode. But that doesn't destroy the axe. The axe sticks around.
And then you can go grab it, and then you
and your
start
allies
slashing.
can
You
go
can
pick
give it
up
to your
that axe and
friends.
Start
Yeah.
wailing on enemies with
Oh
it.
my
This super
gosh.
is insane to me.
The Void Titan aspect, I press and hold my grenade button to consume my grenade and turn it into the shield. The more
Oh,
damage
yes.
it takes, the more it charges up, and then I can release that, and it creates this
Black
blast that deals
Panther
massive
armor.
damage.
Yes.
Complete with the purple.
The Hunter Arc Super.
That's gonna be
is all about finding the
crazy.
shortest distance between 2 points. The hunter kind of rears back, takes this knife, and throws it across the world.
Oh,
And
they
then
bring him
is able
knife
to
back
blink to
because
its
they used to
position,
have like
do a
dancing
flash
knives.
that just decimates anyone nearby.
One really great thing about that
Ooh,
is
it's like
not
a
just
teleport.
You do
Yeah.
it once, but you're able to do it
Teleport
3
AoE
times,
move.
along with devastating attacks each time you do it.
The hunter has an
Oh
aspect.
my
We take our
gosh.
staff, we twirl it in the air, which propels us
Then,
upward.
then I guess
It
they're not
creates
gonna do
this
another
burst,
darkness
which
subclass if they're doing
amplifies
this.
you and any
So-
allies near
but at
you.
least you're
It
doing
almost makes it
something.
feel like you're playing a fighting game,
I'll
right?
take
like these
it, I
combos
guess.
that you're chaining together to do these different moves. It like takes
Ooh,
that sandbox to
so
the
that's
next level.
even
The more
separate.
aspects we have, the more capable we are to do that.
It feels like you're like riding the lightning, you know, like that instantaneous.
Riding the lightning.
That was good, but I think it's more like, you know.
I like it. I like it.
I like that Solar one because Solar Warlocks has been like really poor, like for a while.
Weapons team has been working
other
on
than just
all
doing
sorts
well.
of goodness. We've got exotics, we've got legendaries, we've got perks. We're always cooking up stuff. We're always playing with stuff that we think is like really interesting or taking inspiration. We have Tessellation, which is this exotic pyramid fusion rifle. It has the
God damn
really
it.
intriguing property of adapting your Guardian's current damage type.
This will be the first time that you
This
can
is the
run a
Quicksilver
weapon that
Storm
can
pre-order
adapt to
bonus.
strand or stasis in the energy slot. So you'll
It's
be
the
able to
$100
run an
thing.
entirely strand or entirely stasis loadout. Tessellation has the additional property that you can special reload to
I don't know if I'm
reshape
feeling
your
it yet.
grenade
Yeah.
and suck it into the weapon, and then fire out a super destructive single projectile. It's a really special weapon.
What's
That's
the one
cool.
specific exotic
Yeah.
that I can make?
But
That's
it's like a fusion
really
rifle,
zany
so-
that you would
Yeah.
like right now.
What if
I think it's because I'm
Golden
not big
Gun
on
was a
fusion
sniper rifle?
rifles.
What if you could harness the might of the Traveler? You know, we had a moment where we saw that Traveler beam cutscene. I know people on Weapons went, I kind of want that. You're like, that is incredibly dope.
So we've got this opportunity
so-
to bring back these iconic Destiny 1 weapons,
that's,
but really
Oh, they're
turn
bringing
them
back
the
into
Dragon's
something
Breath?
in Destiny 2.
We have to bring Kvastov into the fold.
Yes.
The Red
Kvastov
Death
define-
exotic pulse rifle.
And Dragon's
Oh my
Breath,
god, they're bringing back Red Death?
burn the world, burn it all.
Yeah,
In
Dragon's
the final
Breath.
shape, we have new weapon subfamilies coming, broadening
Are these
what
exotics?
existing weapons
Yeah.
can
Is that-
be.
Really,
Yeah.
like
Some of the missing
exotic
D1
functionality.
exotics.
So, for example, we've got a rocket pistol sidearm subfamily. We always liked the special ammo
Yes.
sidearms. This fires tiny, slow-moving rockets. They hit very hard, do a bit of AoE damage. They
Ooh,
have
and
a
it tracks-
mixture
Oh,
of
it's a
regular
smart-
weapon
it's
and
the
rocket
frickin'
launcher
smart guns
stats.
from
We're also
Cyberpunk.
doing a new support weapon subfamily.
The support frame auto rifle is a type of
Auto
legendary
rifle was,
rifle.
okay.
It'll let you switch seamlessly from firing at enemies to healing your allies. I'm really
Oh,
excited
nice, it's kinda like the Lumina.
to dungeons and keep my team alive, honestly.
So you can have
Weapons
somebody
team is always coming up with
specifically
new
Just
ideas.
designed
shooting
We've
it.
got a ton of new cool stuff.
That's
We got
amazing.
we got
Some
Mordecai's
new and
roll
really
now.
Wild ideas, which we're pretty excited about.
Jeez. Oh
Come
my
on,
god.
take a load off. We've got a lot to cover.
Yeah, we do,
This
Cade
place is
6. Where
only
the
big enough
frick
for
you
one
been?
dashing
Good,
hero
good to
type.
hear you back,
And
Nathan
that's me,
Fillion.
so. I'm back.
Future Guy Gardner.
Hey, you two, give me a sec.
He's gonna play a great guy,
I
Gardner.
was magnificent. This is great. Anyone want a hug?
I mean,
Yeah, you're
don't
wrong.
show me
But
Red
when
War
you're-
and Forsaken
Worst
stuff.
case
It's gonna
scenario,
remove it.
you
It's
die.
like, don't do that
Who
to me.
knows?
Like,
Maybe you won't.
At this point, they gotta like remind people who he is.
yeah, this was for the reveal of Destiny 2. Like,
I remember that one.
when the tone was
I
different.
missed
Yeah,
those live action.
that Activision money, Paul, that they no longer have.
In this moment where we're driving to the end of the Light and Darkness saga, it's great to see Cade like return to this world at this moment with all this change about to
Yeah, he's been gone for
culminate
5
with this
years.
confrontation with the long-standing enemy, the Witness.
Cade is
Been a
the
lot of
quintessential
stuff
hunter.
happened since
His
then.
presence casts such a long
Yeah, he got that
shadow
start.
over the story of Destiny, whether it was when he was alive or when he was dead.
What Cade goes through in this journey, how he serves as a catalyst for the other characters, the events that are uncovered to have brought him back, this is how the story had to end. There was no end to the Light and Darkness saga that didn't have Cade here alongside his friends to finish the job.
Once we started digging into the nature of the Pale
I'm
Heart,
looking forward to
I think
seeing
that
how he survived.
crystallized Cade's role as a guide.
I think it's probably like
Cade
an
is Virgil,
afterlife
and he's
thing.
our guide through this other place. Cade is the one who is the most appropriate person to be the guide, because that's his job. That's always been his job. It just feels so natural for Nathan
I
to
get
be
it
back
now.
in the group. It felt amazing to just see him slip back into the role, like, without missing a beat.
Right, instantly.
He made a Dante's Inferno reference, so he's going to be somebody
Cade's the glue that's always
that's
going to
show up in
core
that
act together.
created
Having him
world. So
back
maybe he
puts them
isn't
in a
even
position
real.
of questioning where they've been and what they've done without him.
You think about the journey that Zavala's been on and how he's been taken down this dark path, and you think
Zavala
about
had a great
the weight
story in
that's been
Season
on
of the Haunted
Ikora,
with his
having
wife.
to
I
hold the
loved
Vanguard
that.
together, having Cade's voice.
I knew a lot
of
more about
levity
Zavala after
and
all of that.
brightness that he brings to that group. But I think it's going to be great. for
Again,
them.
like rest in peace, Lance Reddick. But I'm glad that instead of
least
them
we have
killing
each
off the
other.
character,
we
they
want people to
recast.
take away that sense of reunion and that idea of like
While
the-
still
the
always
gang being
respecting
back
the original
together
actor.
for this moment.
It's a shame that it's not going to be Lance Reddick speaking to Nathan Fillion anymore,
Whatever
but
the hell here is.
still.
Blocking the path.
Guardian, the witness.
I think this is the
poses a
season.
dire threat,
That's what I'm thinking.
and the Witch Queen holds the answers we seek.
Yeah, because that's
if
what
we
the
contend
end of
with
season
her
of the Deep was like. You got like
Zero
Sabathun
Right.
knows the
It
path.
rests with me.
Like the Witch Queen must rise with Homegirl getting possessed.
Do not be afraid.
Ooh. Oh, Eris.
Huh. Okay.
Oh, shoot.
Now we
Back to
will
the
have
Shadow
magic
Keep?
and have entwined
And
it
back to
with
the
your
throne world, because that's a world that's just been like
Yeah.
wasted.
I know, right?
Guardian,
Yeah.
Okay.
and open the way to our tides.
Oh, I love that
Okay.
armor.
So I guess there's
Hold up.
different, yeah, so there's different armors then.
Yes.
The deck of whispers, and they do.
That's the other one. I think they just showed the one that we saw.
Fight in my name, Guardian. Every opponent you defeat strengthens me.
So that's the new event.
My appetite rises for your brutal tributes.
Bring that hammer.
Let us show her
Alright.
what it is to be Hive.
Yeah, Lucian High ever back?
Yes.
Yeah, we haven't fought them in a while.
I kind of miss him, honestly.
Yeah. Because Witch Queen was a great expansion poll, that's why.
Yeah.
It's a good reminder.
It was a lot of fun.
Season of the Witch.
Season of the Witch.
From,
Alright.
from today all the way to November 28th. So a week,
Let's-
like one
Which is our
less week
opportunity as
from...
players. We've been annihilating and
from last
breaking
year,
Hive
yeah.
spells, and now we finally get to cast them.
At the end of Season of the Deep, we learn that Savathun has the key to getting into the portal that we need to go into. That means we have to go find Imaru, her ghost. Imaru's like, not so fast. We've got a bigger problem first, and that bigger problem's name is Zivu Arath. If we
Oh, are we
fight
finally
her,
gonna
he
fight
only
her?
gets stronger.
Siwarath
Eris
has
an
been like a
idea.
thing since season of
really-
The Hunt.
I remember
It's a wild
hearing
ass
her
idea.
name
Yeah.
thrown around constantly.
She determines
Yeah,
very
Siwarath
well
was
the best
mentioned
way
a
to
lot in
fight
this past
fire
season.
is with fire. We are channeling all of that energy that we're creating by going through, by eliminating enemies, and we're tithing to our friend Eris.
Bring me your tithes.
What does that mean for the characters and the player to kind of like be like Savathun? And that's where we went down the path of having Hive Eris. We wanted to extend that magical fantasy into the player then. That ability to have overwhelming magical power, that risk and reward into all of our activities and systems.
That's why this
experiences.
season you're
And
gonna
so
be throwing a
that's
bunch
what
of
led us
balls
to come
in
up with
the
things like
from the
Deck of
seasonal
Whispers.
artifact. Where we're talking in our clan chat.
It's this magical deck of cards that creates amazing synergies with your buildcraft meta and with buffs and the activities.
Okay.
They can then choose these cards at will, whichever ones they want, and then that really leans into the build crafting.
You actually are getting cards that you can then use to place on the battlefield and change the way you play.
I'm such a sucker for deck building.
So when you
like being able
place
to like
them,
bring
it
that
gives you a
element
buff.
into Destiny gameplay has just been like, oh, chef's
Yeah,
kiss. It's really
super
fun.
They definitely were playing a lot of Diablo recently.
So we've got 2 brand new seasonal activities coming with Season of the Witch. We've got Altars of Summoning and Savathun's Spire.
Savathun's Spire is our new 3-player offensive. You're doing a lot more with the Lucent Hive magic, but it's got a high amount of combatant density. It's got additional random encounters that you can come across.
The Witch's
They
Spire
gave me
is
that-
like the Savathun's Spire.
No.
It's like her reliquary.
Just
for
an
all these
activity,
different magical experiments as she was learning the light. You're there in order to learn as much as you can in order to become a master spellcaster, right? To become like Savathun. The Altar of Summoning's activity is really exciting because you can spend like 20 minutes in it or you can spend 2 hours in it.
It's a 3-player experience.
I like that
you can
fusion rifle.
Hop in and hop
That
out.
weapon
As
looks
you're going
dope.
through this activity, you're filling the tithing bucket. As that tithing bucket is filled up, you'll
Look
get
at that
progressively
thing.
more rewards. And then finally at the end, it'll cash out and you'll get a whole mess of rewards.
Yeah, so they're taking
We really wanted to make sure that there
deep
was a
dives
home
idea that
for
like
any
you
exotic
can
mission
spend more
content coming
time
in
going deeper and
seasons,
deeper and you get better
after the year
rewards.
has passed.
So,
And so we developed what we're calling the
So
exotic
they're, like,
mission
doubling down.
rotator.
Right away, we're getting Presage, Vox Obscura, and Operation
Yeah.
Seraph Shield.
This is some of the most fun content the team has making. It's some of the content the fans and
Yeah,
players
more
of
missions
Destiny
coming
love the most.
2024.
The
They're
most
bringing
exciting
back
thing,
the other
outside of just the
ones.
missions themselves, is that every time we put a mission inside of that rotator, the exotic that comes alongside of it will become craftable.
Yeah, that's right.
With Season of the Witch, we have a brand new Vex lo-fi PvP map coming. It's really exciting. It's got a bunch of really tight gameplay experiences. We wanted to make sure that we focus the combat a little bit more. With the new Vex network map, we really wanted to make sure we hit is like, hey, you're shoulder to shoulder.
At least it's like a very
different
different biome for like a PvP map. That's been like
a lot of the flow of the map
so
is actually
needed.
built
But
around this like
they
kind of
already said
central
that
pillar
PvP
of
maps
the
they're
Vex
gonna do like a
network
big
that you're
drop
orienting
batch
around.
next year.
There's also some modes coming too, right?
We've got a new PvP game mode coming that's all about relics. It's about multiple relics, so it's not just one like the Scorch game mode from the past. So we've got the shield coming from Vault of Glass. We've got the spear back from Season of the Risen.
And we got the scythe from Season of the Haunted.
Yeah, so you're going to be
It's kind of like the
Guardians
Scorch,
with that thing. It's a lot
Scorch
more
Cannon
tactical
mode,
gameplay.
but
It's all
but
about
just
running around the map,
all of them.
claiming these relic dispensers, and then grabbing them in order to push for victory.
I will take what I need. The words in my throat are the weapon in my fist.
We were feeling pretty Hy-Vee this season. Obviously, there's something in the air, and so we're
Yeah, they're
thinking
gonna
about,
announce
like, what's
that.
a good raid reprisal that would really
Yeah.
suit this very
Crota's End.
Hy-Vee season? There's only one answer.
Crota's End.
This is
After
the
y'all
one that
said we're-
everybody hated.
Yeah, there it is.
I have seen what the Hive call a god.
The beginning of Crota's End is awesome though. It's like you drop down the chasm and then you have to run through like through darkness until you reach like a portal. So yeah.
It looks cool so far.
Only a true weapon of the light.
Yeah, that was the necrochasm. That was exotic. It was an auto rifle.
And is that the raid armor that the Titans
Yeah.
are, the Guardians are wearing?
And that people actually love because it was ornaments from Age of Triumph.
Really?
Yeah. Opening the day of the early access for Starfield.
Yeah.
United we rise.
Heading into the final shape, we really want to rally all Guardians at the end of the Light and Darkness saga. We want to reduce those power barriers as well as catch people up on key story beats and make sure that they have a really great and easy time connecting with other players. In In the final
Yeah.
shape, we're trying to find ways to make power more simple and easy to understand, and also lowering the barrier to entry.
It's going to make it easier for
Even
players
more?
who have not been able to jump into game easily because they were held back by the challenges in grinding for the power levels that are required by these different activities.
Remember when you had to grind a lot,
changes
Paul?
that's going to
back in
be
the day?
happening starting with the final shape is there are going to be a certain number of activities that are going to be power fixed. So it doesn't matter kind of what power level you are going into it, you're always going to be able to approach it. There's still going to be tiers of difficulty that you can do, things that are just meant to be experienced.
Is
a
what they've been
certain way.
experimenting with
Things like
difficulty,
Nightfall,
like that they
right?
cap you like
That will
legendary.
still have
That is like no
power
matter your
levels, and
power,
that's
is
where
like
we're really gonna
this
focus
level is
the whole
capped at this
power plan.
at
The
this
raids,
power
the
level.
contest modes that everybody loves to engage with, that experience is fundamentally going to be staying the same.
I'm excited for this because I think there will be a lot more clarity for players in terms of understanding the relative difficulty of things, where they sit now in the spectrum.
One way that we're trying to do that is making it easier for new players to engage with you. So we're introducing something that we're calling Fire Team Power.
You can actually bring your friends along to play any dungeons and raids in the game without having to wait them to be
They
at
don't
a
have to
certain power
raise
level.
their light
The
level.
person with the
Oh, so it's like
highest
it's
power
like
in the
That's
fire team
awesome.
That's
is actually
awesome.
going to
Okay,
bring
I do like
all the
that.
others close to their power level, which means that there's no barrier.
That was the whole
for
issue. We
any
could
other
never do
guardians to join
GMs.
you
We could
in
never
this
do
high-level
raids
content.
unless
When
like
it's combined with
everybody
Fire
had
Team
the
Finder, it also
level.
allows you to find strangers, people you've never played with before, and have that same experience. That's all regardless of the power level of you. and
Yeah,
the
are they
rest of the
finally
people
launching
in
the
your
LFG that I said they
Fire
were
Team Finder
launching?
is the new
Sounds
feature
like
that's
it.
coming in Season 23, aimed at
Yeah.
helping connect
So,
and find other
the season
people
after,
to
so this
complete
launches
the
in
best and
November.
most
So
aspirational content in Destiny. We have a tag system that allows players to be able to say, well, this is my playstyle. I'm really chill. I'm anti-sweat.
Friendly.
I'm just really here to have a good
Pure
time.
and
Exactly.
Tags really allows players to
Oh, man,
show a little bit
I
more
love that.
personality, show a little bit more about what they're about. I think
Oh,
what's
yeah,
really
well, you can
great
put
about it
languages
is
also.
with this launch, we're also
Sweet.
looking at including inclusion tags.
As an example, one of the inclusion tags that we have are for colorblind players. Hopefully the inclusion tags will bring players closer to finding their community and even closer
I
to
really
the
like
people
that
they're
tiny
playing
detail.
with. So once a listing goes live, players will be put into a listing lobby
I think
where
I saw one of
players
them is
can
listed as
gather,
deaf,
they
so
can
that's kind of
communicate
cool.
with each
Like,
other. So we wanted to make it as convenient and
just
as
to
easy
tell
as
people,
possible
hey,
for
don't
players
expect
to not just sit
voice chat.
and stare at a
Yeah.
screen for a long time while their listing actually fills up.
As a gamer who's typically more solo, I'm especially excited about this because it really is about helping reduce that anxiety and burden that comes with trying
Yeah.
to make a new connection.
So many raids have LFGs for you to be able to find things to be able to do like
The
those
feature coming out
group-based
today
content.
that I'm incredibly excited about is timeline reflections. Essentially what we have done is we've went back to previous expansions and pulled out missions that we felt really represent key narrative beats within
Please,
the story.
please.
We're going to have a mission for Forsaken, mission for Beyond Light,
Sure
as well as a
enough.
mission for Witch Queen.
They did it.
Thanks for the memories, Guardian.
So they're
That's
at
a good.
least
So
bringing
at least
part of
bringing
it
some
back.
missions.
Like
Yeah, at
number
least.
one for how you would experience them in the campaign. You're also going to get additional pieces of narrative fed to you to like identify like, hey, this is why it's important that this happened, and here are the people you met along the way.
A really big one that's really timely for Final Shape is Cade's last stand from Forsaken.
Yeah, the first mission Forsaken was freaking awesome.
Give everybody
This
that
is a moment
ability
that
to
a lot of
watch
players,
what
new and
happened.
old, are going to come back to Destiny. I think this is just the right time to introduce features that are going to allow those players
I do
to jump
wish
right
that they
in
brought
and
all of
find
the
people to
missions
play
back,
with
but
and
I'll
enjoy
take
this
what we
content
get.
It's
regardless
something.
of the
It's at least something.
Yeah. It's going to bridge that gap really well.
Mm. All ends
We're
are
reaching the end
beginnings.
of
Yeah.
this 10-year journey. What comes next?
The episodes.
Uh-huh.
And the new way we're going to tell stories moving forward.
What's really important
Episodes.
about episodes is that it's a really big shakeup to what we've been doing. Instead of providing 4 seasons a year, you are going to get 3 larger episodes. And so the first 3 episodes in this coming year
I'm so
are called
glad we've seen
Echoes,
nothing of Crow.
Yeah.
Revenant,
Episodes Echoes,
and Heresy.
Revenant, and
It's
Heresy.
coming right after
okay.
the final shape. And the theme for the year is going to be all about the consequences and aftermath of the final shape. I think what's really the cornerstone of the episode model that we're building is the 3-act structure. The acts
Okay.
act as these anchors for us to
Okay.
introduce new weapons, new artifact mods, new activities. There's going to be new missions coming around the core. There'll be new story moments in every single
That
one
feels
of these
like
acts. We're
great
actually
check-in
providing
times.
more
Hey, it's 6
cinematic
episode
style
1's done. Let's see
experiences
what's.
throughout the final shape year and the episodes with it than any of the seasons we've ever developed before.
These new stories are actually playable as standalone. Like each episode is something you can experience, whether you've been playing Destiny for 10 years or this is your first one.
You're going to be able to basically enjoy them in any order you want to.
I think the opportunity with this big epic moment is that we get to innovate the game. We get to move the game forward.
It's all about change.
Yeah, the seasonal model has been
frequently. It's
stale.
all about deeper story moments. It's all about more weapons, more loot, more often. And it really provides the team with a platform to go much deeper into the themes and fantasies and story of any individual episode as compared to the seasons you know of today.
I'm so excited to see what the narrative team can do with this kind of new platform of storytelling. Episodes
when the
provides
Destiny
this awesome
narrative cooks,
foundation
they cook.
for the future of Destiny.
Even when the story
Moving
gets
into the
bad,
next
like
stage of
Lightfall, like
Destiny 2. I think some people look at the final shape and they think Destiny 2 is coming to the end. And in many ways, it's the opposite. We're leaning in. We're putting the pedal to the metal. Episodes provide us a new, innovative way for players to engage with Destiny 2 throughout the year.
maybe less FOMO or kind of like
what makes
better check-in times.
A guardian. Devotion, bravery, sacrifice. We know that we were chosen for a reason. By something greater than ourselves.
Guardian. Guardian? Eyes up, Guardian.
Shaped by the fires of each new battle, we are forged and sharpened into what we must become for the fight ahead.
It does make me wonder, maybe they haven't recorded with Keith David yet, because they said that they recorded the showcase like a month-ish, and we got the Keith David announcement like 2 weeks ago. So
yeah,
every warlock.
That's what I would think, because he's also like a big name actor, so he's probably still doing a lot of stuff.
Devotion inspires the voice of Spawn is now the voice of
Bravery
Zavala.
inspires sacrifice.
Sacrifice leads to death.
I'm just so happy that there will be a way to re-experience some of these missions. Like, that's better than nothing. Yeah.
Let's cross it together.
There are things out in the dark that only the dark can overcome. Trust me.
Man, that Lightfall trailer last year was so good. It's so unfortunate that the expansion wasn't.
What frickin' ever happened to that hand cannon that they talked about?
It's in the Veil. You have to go look at the Veil containment.
As I remembered part of it, it was something to do with Lightfall, and I couldn't even remember. Like,
There's like
after a certain point.
It's kind of like a story mission that opened like right around the place where the campaign ended, where you get lore about the Veil, and when you do the first one, they give you the hand cannon, which it's not that good.
Wasn't it really difficult?
No.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
It's like
It's gonna be
I
an
wouldn't use
exciting
it
year
personally.
for Guardians. We get to make good on a promise that we made way back in 2014. There was classic rock blasting, a fire team racing across our solar system, and at the end, a simple message: become legend. Today, you got a glimpse at how we'll be cementing your legend in this upcoming year. We're gonna be heading inside the Traveler, experiencing a destination unlike anything we've ever built before. We'll face the biggest bad we've ever made, and we'll do this all alongside a streamlined progression system, allowing us to easily play with friends in any content in the game. And as the dust settles in the final shape, we're gonna continue our legends in Echoes. It's Destiny's first episode in a new phase of storytelling for Guardians, with brand new conflicts born from the resolution of the Light and Darkness saga. These first episodes are just the beginning. But if you're chomping at the bit to see how the Light and Darkness saga is gonna kick off the future of Destiny 2, we've got a ton of great content for you to jump into today. Going live after this, we've got Season of the Witch, with a new story, new weapons, new armor, new activities, and new PvP content, all alongside a series of story catch-up missions, allowing any of your friends to jump into the game and get up to speed on what's happening in the
Oh wait, so that's launching today?
That's going live with the
Next
season.
week. Okay.
A brutal reprisal of Crota's End is going to join the ranks of our aspirational content. I can't wait to see you all in the Throne World as we learn more about the final shape and how we can stop it.
Do not be afraid. Bring me your tithes.
I'm really hoping the activity is good. That one that they showed.
That's going to be a real determiner
After all these years,
with how long I'm going to end up enjoying and wanting to like keep grinding.
This fight might be.
Hey, one of the things that Season of the Deep did was that they didn't increase power levels, and they're not doing it again either. So
yeah, I'm really glad for that. So once you collect kind of what you want out of it and experience what you want, you can kind of step out.
Mhm.
I do appreciate that a lot.
Yeah.
So I think that's it.
Collector's Edition reveal. Okay.
All right. Well,
Let's
they
see
kind of
what-
showed us what it's going to be, but
When we create a collector's edition, we try and recreate items from the universe for players to enjoy outside of the game.
I know the Dinklebot
this
one
year
was
we're
super
doing
popular
the
back in the day.
Destiny
Remember that
1
day?
tower. We really tried to work
the
hard
tower.
at thinking about 10 years of Destiny and how
yeah, I
best
know what you
to
mean though. I kind of wish
encapsulate
I could have gotten one
that
of those
experience.
ghosts.
Even as a game dev who've worked on it since day
Because
one,
I was
like,
in
think
college and I was
having
moving
it
dorms constantly.
be the tower is super
I
exciting for us
couldn't
because
indulge
it's gonna kinda
in
catalog
collector
your journey
things,
as
and
a
I was
player
already
from
all
when you first
digital
started
by that
playing
point. So.
Destiny all the way to now. The tower, it's kind of like the beacon in which you're a place you can call home.
You get the tower, and then there are actual figures of the Vanguard mentors that accompany that architectural model.
And there's a lot of like hidden messages and hidden things.
There's gonna be some fun surprises. We're always trying to push the envelope. And so we've been playing a lot with magnetic locks and sound effects, and lights, just sort of make this experience as a whole really special. It's sort of the perfect symbol of Destiny. I'm so excited for it.
Me too.
I do appreciate that it's kind of reserved and simple. I do like that hand cannon. Dang.
But that hand cannon is that's the Ace of Spades. You have that one.
Oh, that's just an ornament for it?
Yeah, no, that's how Ace of Spades looks. It always had that.
Doesn't?
Yeah.
It had the symbol, but that's not the shape of the Ace of Spades at all.
You'll see it. It is the Ace of Spades because that's a
Ace of Spades is white and black. That was a gold and black.
Was it?
Yeah, go look.
Yeah, it definitely looked the same as the Ace of Spades for me. It's the same icon, same shape.
It was I'll take a screenshot of it. That I'm calling it though. That's a very different, like either an ornament for the Ace of Spades or
Yeah, that could probably be the thing. That is the same shape, maybe a different color, but it's the exact same shape because the Ace of Spades has the ace icon to it. So yeah, that's the Destiny showcase. Right now they're gonna start the post show Q&A
Actually,
with.
Sorry, I just noticed that that's not even the same symbol. That's a club symbol. The Ace of Spades has the spade symbol on it.
Is it the same weapon or not?
I'm telling you, it's a different symbol, different colors. Because the spade is like one big like diamondish look to it. Big bulb. Anyway, I'm calling my shot early.
Yeah. So yeah, right now they're gonna start the post show that director Joe Blackburn said he was gonna do after he responded to the backlash to the state of the game, where people are gonna be sending him actual real questions. He's gonna answer that. We're not gonna react to that. So that was the showcase for Final Shape. Paul, what do you think? Real quick.
Better than I expected. I don't know if it's enough to get me to buy the $100 version.
Yeah.
I don't think so, but it's got me excited for their new model. They clearly learned that lesson. I really look forward to finding out what's next, and I'm gonna stand up and go make sure my next season is downloaded. Do you know about the maintenance
At
time for
any
that?
at any point, it should start now. Well, it should start like in 15 minutes probably. So yeah, so it's like, yeah, this was a good showcase for them. It's like I wouldn't say it's like I was more hype after the Witch Queen one. I was more hyped even after the Lightfall one. But also, this is a showcase that's coming after a really bad time for the game. So it's like they're still in, yeah, show me what you got mode. Like, or at least like show me you still got the goods. And some of what we saw from the expansion for next year definitely looks like they got some of the goods. I'm glad that they're sort of addressing some of the things that I've been wanting from them. Kind of like, hey, at least find a way to for new players to experience some important story missions that are important for the narrative that you're currently telling that they can't experience because you removed them from the game. So they got halfway there. Like, it's still not the full campaign, but that would have also required them to bring back some destinations that are not there. But they figure out a way to do individual pieces, like some of the reprise raids, like Bolt of Glass. Like, that's in Venus. We don't have Venus, but they're able to do that because they're able to just silo off a part of the game to be able to do that. So I'm glad that they at least understand, and this is the perfect time for people to be like, now the final shape, what the Light and Darkness saga for Destiny 2 is like a complete thought. It's a final shape, so you gotta get the beginning of that shape, not Shadowkeep. Shadowkeep is a bad way to start it. So at least some good stuff there. I don't think it was a home run though. So, but they still have 2 more seasons to like prove. And at least now we know what the expansion will look like. I am actually really excited about the episodes because that is finally them evolving the seasonal model that they've stuck with since Shadowkeep in 2019. So it's been like 4 years with the same model, rinse and repeat. Just recently they started moving away from the grid upgrades, but that wasn't enough. It was still the same thing. 3 meteor episodes instead of 4 seasons that eventually like run out of steam really quickly. I think that will be probably better for them in developing. So yeah, good stuff. Definitely not the best showcase they've done, but I'm hoping for even better for next year. But again, they're in rebuild mode right now after Lightfall crumbled under them. So
I will say it's still a step in the right direction, especially with those the missions that we can play alongside explanations for stuff that happened and just all of those details. I'm happy. Just
I'm
not
willing
like
to
ecstatic, but I'm happy.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to be ecstatic after we've been like burned where the game has been for a bit. So
definitely.
Yeah.
Also,
so now,
go take a look at the comparison pictures I just sent in our group chat.
Yeah,
I am
just
actually
posted
adamant now. They're completely different.
Let me see the image.
Look at the symbols on the side. Look at the shapes.
Yeah, so it's definitely going to be an ornament, a different ornament for the same gun. So, but it's still the Ace of Spades. Yeah, it's not the exact same. Yeah,
I was happy
you win
I'm
there.
not crazy this time.
Yeah,
I'm not crazy this time.
Yeah, but I told you it was the Ace of Spades. But it's definitely a new ornament. So yeah, that's gonna wrap it for us for this showcase. I'm gonna personally watch the Q&A. I want to hear what they say, and then
I'll probably drop out, but I'm gonna make sure that season gets downloaded, baby.
I know, same. Because at the release, I liked starting the new seasons. So everyone, thank you so much for joining us for this reacts. We love doing them, and we haven't done a one in a while. Opening night live is a little bit later, but obviously you're not gonna be on that one. I'm gonna be like personally reacting if it's worth it. If it's worth something, I will post it just with me reacting. But if it's not that notable, it's just gonna be there. But other than that, we want to thank you so much, and you can where can people find you, Paul?
As always, y'all can find me at Dork of Art on Twitter. I'm going to be posting some gameplay or screenshots of things or me breaking stuff. Where can they find you, Alejandro?
They can find me at _Dorsegovia on Twitter /X. They can find me at Alejandro Segovia 93 on Threads and Instagram, and my written content at seasongaming.com. And you can also catch us at the X Bottom Podcast, our gaming podcast that posts every Fridays from 2 p.m. onwards, sometimes early, sometimes later, depending on upload times. And we're there weekly to talk about the gaming shenanigans. So I'll see you later this week, Paul, and everyone else. Thank you so much for joining us. Play some games if you're like Destiny and download the new season. Hopefully it's a good one, and
press X
to play.
Good night, everybody.
Hasta luego.